Yeah, Carlos, two straight games where this Mercury team played a little smaller, shot a bunch of threes. What's kind of difficult about their style of play that makes them hard to contain on the defensive end?
Well, I think when you have players that are versatile, like a Diamond DeShields that can go to the floor, but she can still play outside, I think it's a tough matchup for us. We have, a bigger player in Queen Egbo, and Melissa and Emily. So we try to kind of balance it out to where they can actually guard. But we just miss a few assignments tonight.
This was an interesting game with you guys low turnover, shot well from three, got to the line, but couldn't quite find enough gears to win. What kind of went wrong inside the arc that didn't let you get the 2-point looks that you're normally able to generate in winning performances?
Well, I just think again, sometimes we get used to not moving the ball at certain times. The ball sticks a little bit. And then as they ramp up their defense, we need to ramp up our offense. And that was one of the things that we struggled with tonight.
What did you think of the way Emily Engstler played? 6 offensive rebounds, was really a force on that aspect of the game, and you turned her for more minutes than normal in this one.
I loved the way she played. And Emily does a great job in practice and preparing herself to play. She was a beast on the boards. That's exactly what we need from her and we want from her. And as she continues to develop, she's going to be a very great player for us.
Gabby.
Coach, they had a 7-player score at least 11 points. And, I think with Phoenix, they sometimes get people talk about them having such a short bench and not playing many players, but pretty much everyone who played was able to score in double figures. How do you stop that kind of attack? And I guess, why do you think you guys did struggle just stopping their entire team tonight?
Well, I think, number one, again, with veteran leadership and people that understand the game, they spaced the floor. They did a very good job of getting downhill and getting to the paint with drawing kicks. So it was very difficult for us at times and at moments. I thought we had a pretty good first half, but the last few minutes of the second quarter is something that we've been struggling with. I felt like we kind of, had low energy defensively. So it was difficult because, again, they can spread the floor out in so many different ways. So we just have to continue to bite down and get better.
It seems like that low energy on the defensive end can sometimes be a recurring problem. Do you know the reasoning behind that? Obviously, I'm sure you don't, because otherwise it wouldn't be happening. But, when you're seeing that low intensity on the court, why do you think that's just happening consistently?
Well, I think, honestly, it's just a lack of focus in areas. Sometimes, when you have a younger team, they're not as in tune as they need to be for the full 40 minutes. And, when you're playing a good team, all it takes is 3 or 4 possessions for you to be kind of out of tune. And next thing you know, you're down 8 or 10 points.
And then just with Kelsey tonight, obviously a great performance again, but she put herself third on the all-time scoring list for the Fever with one of her shots. I mean, obviously, I know you talked a little bit about the All-Star thing in pregame, but just seeing her impact, and she's only 26, I mean, how does that make you feel just about her future with the program?
It makes me feel extremely proud and happy to have her a part, because Kelsey is a nonstop worker. She's definitely worthy of an all-star appearance, and she won't stop. That's one of the things that I love about her. She does not stop, and she will continue to be better, stronger, and really be prideful when it comes to different things on the basketball floor. So it makes me feel extremely happy.
Thanks, Coach.
Zion.
Yeah, Coach, tonight it felt like there were a lot of just later defensive rotations that led to the 58 points in the paint for Phoenix. Why do you think that just was a continuous problem for you guys in today's game?
Well, I think, again, just late rotations come from lack of focus. Just understanding our schemes, understanding our game plan. It just takes a while for us to get where we need to be from just a 40-minute game. understanding how to play at that level for a full 40 minutes. So we continue to try to rep that in practice. We don't have as many practices as we would like to have, but at the same time, it's consistent in our game plan. So we'll continue to get better.
How do you kind of balance? It felt like you guys were playing more aggressive on the perimeter. How do you balance when you play aggressive perimeter defense, but how do you also make sure that you're protecting the inside as you play that aggressive defense outside?
Again, it's reps, it's repetition, it's communication, making sure that our bigs understand, what our perimeter players are bringing, talking on the schemes, talking in a help defense. We have to make sure that we understand exactly what we're doing from a defensive standpoint. So sometime when that doesn't happen, you can see a defensive breakdown, and then it may go south.
Coming into today, you guys were last in the league in 2-point field goal percentage. Today, another one of those days where you couldn't get much going inside. What do you feel like has been the core of that issue?
Well, I think for the most part, we have some very aggressive offensive players on the perimeter, and they look forward to being solid, at their position on their outside shot. So I think it's just a matter of habit. They are used to, getting shots up from the perimeter, but we definitely have to go in the direction of, plunging it inside at times as well.
Yeah, Kelsey, interesting game for you guys where you kept the turnovers down, you hit the threes, got to the free throw line, but still couldn't quite find that final gear on offense. What do you feel like was missing for you guys on that end of the floor down the stretch in particular?
I think we had too many empty possessions. There was a lot of times where we got to a point where they did miss a shot, and when they did, we didn't convert. So it made our offense down the stretch of the game really, really difficult. Our transition was bad. It was just everything was choppy, and because it was choppy, it was hard to stay in rhythm. And I think that's what really got us.
They play small, that Mercury team does, especially now they don't have Tina. Take a ton of threes. How does that speed, that spread out style, how difficult is it to defend that over the course of an entire game?
Yeah, over time, you have to pick and choose your battles. Obviously, Sophie Cunningham is a good shooter, but she's playing forward. So they give a different look, and because they do, it's hard to really do schemes. And I know it just makes it a little bit more difficult for us to know how to scheme a guard who's playing a 4-player. Or a 3-player that's playing a 2-player. It just makes it really difficult.
Can you kind of take me through the last 24 hours of emotions for you after finding out you were not named an All-Star this season?
I was pretty emotional. I don't have any ill will towards, the league itself, the players that were chosen. Obviously good luck to them and congratulations. I think for me it's for so long, people always tell you what you have to do better in order, to be named one and, how to be a part of the conversation. And when you think you're making strides, something else kind of brings you down. It's unfortunate. I lean on my family a lot these last 24 hours. I think for me, it's just been kind of understanding that, it's a journey and, hopefully down the stretch of the line, I'll be one. But I think for me, I think what's important is that, the people that's behind me and the people that love me see me as, as a value, and I guess I could just leave it at that.
Good questions for both Emily and Kelsey here. Gabby?
Yeah, Kelsey, what did your family say to you when you guys talked, or, what was just the general consensus between you guys?
My family's really, really blunt. And really, really honest people. So a lot of it was just, shocking news. My mom, it's something about a mom's love that you just can't really, really pinpoint, but she just knew. And I was emotional. I cried with her. It was we had our own FaceTime, therapy session, and it was tough. It was tough. Not even that you individually worried about yourself and focused on yourself, but like I said, you just think about how far you've come and everything you tried to accomplish. You think about all the hard work and all the blood, sweat, and tears you put into it, and it's unfortunate. But my family was very, very. I lean on them a lot. Gabby, I will honestly say it was an emotional time. Coach Lowe's kind of took me under his wing and told me everything was gonna be all right, and I got to pick myself up. So that's what I tried to do today.
the mom FaceTime calls always work.
Always.
But, today then you come out and now you're third on the all-time scoring list for Indiana. I mean, you're only 26. Like, that kind of put things into perspective a little that, you are still so young and there are other things that have been accomplished. Like,
Yeah.
do those types of things help that, just some of those emotions?
Yeah and no. The bottom line is that, this league or any league that you're in professionally focuses on winning. And I haven't done much of that, and that's just the reality. Individually, I know it kind of like, tells you how far you've come and where you want to go. So those accolades kind of mean a lot from that standpoint of like the whole keep grinding ideal of it. But there's still a lot more to be done, and I think for me, it's just kind of focus on the task at hand. That's trying to win some games.
Emily, what's your kind of take on the All-Star situation and just, seeing a player like Kelsey and being able to learn from her and obviously, like I just said, being on that all-time scoring list so early in her career?
Well, first of all, I think everybody on this team knows that Kelsey deserved to be an All-Star. So technically, finding out was a sad day for her and the entire team. She got robbed. I understand that sometimes in college and the league, you focus on wins, but when an individual player is so consistently good, I think that whether they're on a team that might not be winning or not, they deserve to make a list like that. And Kelsey's 26 years old. She has a lot of time ahead of her, but congrats on the scoring thing. I didn't do that.
I didn't either to
Finding that
now.
out. That's awesome. It's just another reason why she should be on, things like making the All-Star squad. And, we're going to be here for her. And I think the best thing about Kelsey is, it's not just someone who can score 20 a game. She's a great teammate. She's someone who's fun to play with, and she's a leader. And I hope she can get it next year.
Appreciate you.
Emily, just on today's game, obviously your offensive rebounding is just kind of ridiculous to watch.
It's amazing, right? It's like
What
a
do you-
pogo stick.
Is that something you constantly go for when you're on the floor? Like, or do you think that's just a natural part of how you play your game?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I think you got to find a niche. I'm not the biggest scorer. I've never been. And if you're good at something, do it. Make you stand out. If it's something that can help your team, such as offensive rebounds, then I'm going to try to, do it as best as I can at all times. Today was just a better night than others.
Thanks, guys.
Zion, hold on. We have one more. Zion there.
Yeah, I'll start with Kelsey. Just another night for you guys where scoring inside, getting those 2-pointers to fall were an issue. Why do you feel like it's been such a struggle just throughout the year to convert inside the arc, inside the paint too?
I think it's a combination of us taking our time and recognizing where we are inside the paint, taking your time to make the shot. A lot of tension as far as rushing yourself to trying to get that shot off. And then for us, it's just making sure we're making that transition from the D end to the O end to make sure we get a good shot at things. And sometimes we're good. Most times it's kind of been kind of tough and difficult. But I think a lot of it just goes to us taking our time and recognizing that we got a good shot and sealing the deal.
And then Emily, you guys just felt like the rotations were off a lot of the times defensively, where they would get open down low. That led to 58 points in the paint for Phoenix. What do you feel like was the issue there?
Yeah, communication. It's something that, we have to work on, and we do. Just communicating and, executing our defense a little better. But, we're going to, you lose, but you have another game in a day. So you have to just pick yourself back up and practice it and get your team back together and get ready for the next game.
How hard is it to defend a team that moves the ball as well as Phoenix was today?
I think for us, I think it was difficult because, like I said, they had so many players that are interchangeable. They had Diamond DeShields, who's an athletic, tall guard, really good guard that sometimes play on the floor. And then you got, a guard like Sophie Cunningham who could shoot the lights out the ball. It's I think for us, it was kind of picking our poison and, try to defend it as best as possible. I think our margin of error is small. And so when you lapse and you lapse and you lapse, they're going to make you pay. So I think it made that made it difficult, and it caused them to like kind of ping pong wherever, kind of get whatever shot they wanted, which made it tough.